Hello. Virtual reality as a concept has been around for quite a long while. I first became aware of it reading computer magazines back in the late 80s, early 90s, something like that. Virtuality in the arcade, powered by Amiga 3000s apparently. Never got to have a go on one. I've been fascinated by the concept ever since then and really have wanted to have a go. I got a Virtual Boy, which is brilliant and I love it, but it isn't what I would call virtual reality. It is just a not especially immersive 3D gaming experience. There's no head tracking. It's like looking into a three-dimensional diorama, just in red and black. But it's cool, I like it, it just isn't virtual reality. So, the first time I had a go on actual proper virtual reality was on a Oculus Rift at Play Blackpool in this spring just gone, and I was fairly gobsmacked. Totally immersive, head tracking, graphics were impressive. I found the resolution a limitation. I was very aware of the pixels. I couldn't ignore the fact that I could see the pixels, big pixels in my face basically. And I thought that was a bit of a downer. But I was fascinated by it and I loved it all the same. So I've been kind of following the whole thing for a while, watching the progress of this. Other companies are getting on board with that kind of thing. Sony is supposedly doing a VR headset for the PS4. And then I've recently become aware of the Google Cardboard project, where you take your Android phone, install some software in it, and then put it into a cardboard headset that you can buy on Tinterwebs. They've got it all over eBay. You get some little lenses with it so that you can focus. You basically make yourself a cardboard headset, and instead of having a big powerful computer hooked up to it, you just stick your phone in it, and with the motion tracking and everything, it gives a fairly decent virtual reality experience. So I had heard. So I was just yesterday I was watching Alan Stewart's video. He'd got a Google Cardboard and he gave it a go, and he was impressed with it, and he talked about the software that you could get that I hadn't actually bothered to look into. And I don't know why, because I have an Android phone. So on watching that video I thought, well, I've got to give this a go just to see if the software will work. And on my phone, which is the Sony Xperia M2, it didn't work. Gutted, because the Google Cardboard headsets are dirt cheap. My phone lacks some of the gyros that are necessary. I can get the up and down motion, but I can't get the turning motion. Pretty ticked off at that. So I pretty much gave up for about 5 minutes. It was like, bummer, oh well, never mind. Can't afford to buy another phone just to mess about with Google Cardboard. But then it occurred to me, hold on. You know what I have got? I've got one of these. It is the Tesco hudl 7-inch Android tablet. This has all of the gyros. Obviously they don't make Google Cardboard big enough for one of these, but I was fascinated with the concept. So I thought, well, I'll just install the software anyway and see what it looks like. And the first, where is it? Edit a bit. Dive is a thing that I keep. It's like if you look into the virtual reality for Android, you come across Dive, and it's a roller coaster ride, and you turn. Basically, it's your view from on a roller coaster, and you can turn your head, or you would if you had it on your head, and your view changes. You know, you're in a city on a roller coaster. And I thought, well, that's cool, but you know, it's just the software works. What I don't have is a way of viewing it. So I pondered, and I came up with a solution, sort of temporary. Well, say temporarily, very makeshift. Cardboard box with a slot in the back and a divider. Hey presto. First thing is, even with I'm short-sighted, but even I can't focus on that from there. I mean, I can't do it. So first solution was, because I read a fair bit on other people's solutions and what they used, I took apart a pair of binoculars and stuck them in a piece of cardboard, which is like folded in such a way that it will go in to the box like that. And you do that and it works. You basically stuff your head in a cardboard box with a dismantled pair of binoculars and you have VR. But that is so, these are heavy. They're big glass lenses, the plastic frames aren't exactly light. So I thought, well, this is just not happening. Went to Poundland. Reading glasses. Plus 3.5 strength reading glasses for £1. Put them on. Yay. I'm on a roller coaster. Honest, I am. And it's brilliant. The thing is, that is just gobsmackingly good. The thing with that, what you get with that you don't get, or rather what you don't get with that you do get with the Oculus Rift, is the resolution problem, the pixels in your face. The screen is bigger and it is further away. So you're not sitting staring at pixels, and it's wide, so it is still immersive. You're still getting a very full field of vision, which is brilliant. So as a proof of concept, cardboard box VR works. You get the head tracking and there is no lag to speak of. You turn your head, it follows. But I've played with a few things on here, and controls. Some things you need a joypad. Haven't got one of them. And if I had a joypad, I don't have a hand. Well, I would need another hand because I'm using one to hold this up. And there's where you kind of run into trouble using the cardboard box and the hudl. It's heavy, and the further away from your head the hudl is, the more weight is pulling down, if you like. You can't just put a rubber band on that and have it, or a rubber strap and have it hold onto your head. So either, well, I've got a few solutions. This is proof of concept. I am now onto like a DIY virtual reality project thing. I'm determined to make this work in a way that is practical to play with, if you like. Obviously it's not going to be some commercial quality thing. I just want to be able to, I want to play the game I had a go at yesterday, and I can't remember what it was called. I deleted it because I couldn't see a way of making it work. I have bought a few things, which I will show you as they arrive, and I will show you the process of what it is I'm going to put together. And I'll do that all in this video. So cut to the next thing, I think, and I'll show you stuff as it arrives, and Well, we'll just see if you can figure out what I'm doing before I finish, eh? Okay, editing for now. Progress update. I've got these. I've got two of these. There's another one in there. These are 38mm wide, 50mm focal distance lenses. The idea being you put them into the headset and you can focus on the screen from about 5 centimeters away, and they do. You can absolutely do that, which is brilliant. Or it would be brilliant if I was using a phone and not a tablet. The problem I'm having is that close to the screen, I can't, while I can focus on the screen itself and indeed see the pixels, I can't get my eyes to point in the right direction to make the stereoscopic image come together as one 3D image. Your eyes just ain't meant to point in that kind of direction. Going cross-eyed and everything is just really, you just can't do it. The roller coaster demo that I showed you, you can do that, but a lot of the other programs and apps and whatnot, you cannot do that. So I've got to be further away from the screen, which is a shame, because if it was closer, the whole leverage effect would be minimized and it wouldn't be pulling the thing off of my head. But anyway, so those, which you can pick up if you're planning on doing this kind of thing yourself, like a DIY job, and you're using a phone, these would be perfect. It was £10 for the pair. So yeah, they're good if you're using a phone, no good if you're using a tablet. So I started looking for alternatives. Now, as you'll be aware, maybe, I can't remember what I said, reading glasses, really strong reading glasses. One pair on their own, basically got to be quite a distance from the screen. Kind of awkward. Two pairs together, that works. I can get quite close to the screen. But again, I had the problem of couldn't make my eyes work and bring the two images together. You can adjust the effect by moving the lenses further apart. I found that out using these. If I move them further apart, I was able to bring the image together. Problem is, these, when you move them apart, you get to the outer edge of the lens and it was all just distorted and everything, so I couldn't do it with them. But I might be able to do it with these. If I was to make a tube, basically cut the things to pieces, make a tube and hold both of these lenses in it, and the same with those, and cardboard thing, basically adjustable, so I can adjust the distance between the lenses, and that might be a fallback thing that I will try and do if I can't get on with what I am currently doing, which is I'll show you in a moment. You remember the binocular lenses? Well, they're in here. This is a pair of safety goggles with, I took the binocular lenses, the front of the lenses, I managed to get them out of those plastic bits, and have wrapped them in cardboard tubes. I just wrapped cardboard around it and then put gaffer tape around it, some sponge separating them, and then gaffer tape holding it all together. There's an amount of tension going on, keeping everything in place. And this does fit on my head, and the strap will hold it on my head. It is damned uncomfortable. And I'm basically going to have to put some sponge padding on that to make it tolerable. I've been chopping up bits of sponge here to put all of the sponge spacer in there. But it works. This does work. I have to have the screen a certain distance away from my head, further away than I would like in terms of like weight and not pendulum, leverage and stuff. Why is my computer doing weird shit? because I've got things on my keyboard. Duh. Whoops. I've messed up my browser now. Anyway, yeah, that's how far I've got so far. I'm still waiting for bits and pieces to arrive, but that's where we're at now. Okay then, after much messing around with cardboard boxes, I was going to use Tupperware, but it really would have been too much like hard work. So 2 cardboard boxes, one inside the other, with the goggles stuffed into, well, they're stuffed into this box here, which is then stuffed into this box here, which is the box I was using earlier, with the Android tablet just in the slot here. So you can take it out, which I'm not about to do because I'm lazy. So yeah, it works. I mean, it looks fairly ludicrous, especially with the sponge, but by God, you need the sponge. More sponge in the bottom there to hold it all sort of stable, the one box in the other box. Having the one in the other is useful because it allows for focusing. You can telescope it. You can move the smaller box in and out of the bigger box to get the focus right. I've got it adjusted in such a way that I've got it jammed in as far as it will go, and that works for my eyes. Anyone else having a go who needs it closer is buggered because it won't go any closer. But you could pull it out a ways, but I'm not really expecting anyone else to have a go with it. Andrea, her attitude towards it is all, what are you doing that for? But there you go. It works. I've been standing in this room and moving around this other room in a whole new world. And it's bloody awesome. I've just gone into a teleporter. Honest. Yeah, so that's that. Now, as it stands at the moment, that thing weighs a bloody ton. And yeah, you've got that strap there for the goggles, but there is no way that's holding this thing on my head. A possibility and a thing that I've seen done is a strap going from the front over the top of my head and joining this at the back. I don't think that will be strong enough. For the game that I've been playing, that you just saw just there, it doesn't matter. I mean, I can do it all handheld. There is no need for any controls or joypad or anything, and I can just hold them up to my face like a pair of binoculars, and that's fine. But there are some things I've seen that require a joypad, so I'm going to have to come up with something that will hold this onto my head. We'll see how that goes. Right then, this would have been the conclusion, but it isn't. You'll see. Glasses off, can't see a thing, but right, give me a moment. This is tricky. There, it's on my head, and on a well, yeah, technically or theoretically it's complete, except that it is crushing my face. I have a joypad plugged into it. The helmet kind of clamps it to my face. But the problem that I worried about is making it impossible. The weight, it's that leverage effect. The weight of the lenses and the tablet pull down so hard that even with all this sponge, it is just It is way too uncomfortable. It crushes my nose like that. And you can't concentrate on the gaming while your face is being squashed. So that ain't working. I'm not calling it a day with the whole thing yet. I'm not done yet. I've got another. This was never my original design. I hesitate to say design. I was never going to use this helmet. I just happened to be rummaging in the garage yesterday and came across it and thought, oh, I could do that because I'm waiting for something else to arrive that may or may not work. So I'm going to wait until this other thing arrives, see if I can come up with something with that, and then this may or may not be, it may be like end of project, failed, or I may come up with something that works. The weight is always going to be a problem. But as it stands like this, yeah, that don't work. Okay then, rebuilding the headset. Well, no, the bit that holds the lenses. I'm going to try and do away with the binocular lenses because they're heavy. I need to lighten this thing, and I've got an idea. So the reading glasses that I showed you earlier, I have snipped them to pieces and got the lenses still in their frames, and insulating tape, little pieces of cardboard. I've got 4 pieces of this cardboard, and I'm just looking. I think I've got the thickness of this one is slightly too thick. Just a tiny fraction out. And I think it's kind of distance that would make a difference. That'll do. Here we go. This insulating tape is handy because it's got stripes on it, and I'm putting the cardboard, trying to put it in between the stripes just as a guideline, and then I don't know how much you're going to be able to see, and I've just put fingerprints all over the lens, and I've got to clean that before I put it all together, because once it's together I won't be able to wipe the lenses. There. That's all together. I don't have any couple of places. Right. Put something on that. Right. That well, you can see what it does. And that is just so much lighter than the binocular lenses that are in the current headset, and they're well, the main part of the weight in it is from the hudl, but I do have a plan. Well, I can't do anything about the weight of the hudl, but I think I can alter the design just enough so that I'll be able to wear the thing on my head without causing myself quite so much discomfort. These, once I've put them together like this using insulating tape, and I'm using that just because it's a little bit easier to work with than gaffer tape or duct tape. Once I put these together like this, I'm then going to wrap gaffer tape around them to make them a little more secure. Now it bolts up. No, nothing matters. No, we're all right. It's not bolts up. I've got left ends with right ends, so as long as it's actually facing around the right way, it's okay. There we go. Now I'm going to have to find the right distance for these to be apart. I need to get them as far apart as I possibly can and still have my vision converge in the middle. But anyway, that's what I'm doing to replace the binocular lenses. Well, there we go. After much messing around with insulating tape, gaffer tape, cardboard and reading glasses, here we have a pair of super strong, super thick, rather wide reading glasses. They're for people with their eyes far too far apart on their head, but they will do the trick. I've actually sat them in front of the hudl with these in front of my face, and it works. So yeah, high technology or something. Okay, after an amount of tinkering, I have come up with this. It is the inner part of the headset. I haven't taped it together yet, but it's all should be more comfortable on my face. You see the DIY reading glasses. That is cut out there so that you can't see the cardboard when you're looking through it. And the distance here should be the distance to the hudl should be about there in the outer part of the headset, and then this just sits on top of it and about like that, and I need foam all around here so that it doesn't trash my face. That's the plan. I've got to go and get a sponge basically. Okay then, here's a look at the new inner section of the headset. I need to cut this bit down to size when I fit it into the outer part of the headset, and I've got to cut it to the right length so that I can focus. But as you can see there, lenses are inside and we got lots of sponge. I basically got a car washing sponge, chopped it in half thickness wise, cut a rectangular section out and gaffer taped it to the headset, and that should be quite comfortable. It's massively lighter than this thing that I was using before. Much lighter. So while I'm still expecting to need a lot of pressure and force and whatnot to hold the whole thing on my head, it might just be doable now. We shall see. Here we go then. That works. It's pretty damned uncomfortable, but it's doable. I need to try and make some kind of leverage mechanism thing, something that will, so that the helmet will take some of the weight of this off of my face. But it's working. It's doable. I've got lots of foam on it, as you can see. I've added a bit more as well, just here. I might add some more. But it is working. I'm standing on the deck of a space station and looking out of the windows down at the Earth, which is really quite epic. Yeah, that's cool. What's that down there? I can't quite get near enough. There's something down there. This is as near as you will get to standing on the deck of a space station looking down at the Earth. screen size, it is like looking at a fairly cinema screen, but not quite as wide. It's got the height, but not the width. Ooh, glass floor. Yeah. I've kind of walked myself into a corner here. I need to turn around. Here we go. Yep. Also with these glasses, the reading glasses, I'm not getting the fogging that I was getting on the binoculars. So there you have it. I could plug my joypad in as well, because I've done a... Where is it? There, that there. I can plug a PS3 joypad via USB into that, and it makes walking around a lot easier in the game. Not in, I don't want to be walking around the room. I think I would have problems. Yeah. I'm probably off the screen through all of that because I can't see the camera. Yeah, it's working. So anyone who has any doubt that you can make a virtual reality headset out of a 7-inch Android tablet and a load of cardboard boxes and some old reading glasses and some sponges and bicycle helmet. Yeah. Anyone who tells you it can't be done, wow. Hasn't done it. It can be done. It's uncomfortable, but it works. I want to work on the comfort aspect of it. Ooh. I just walked through a computer console. Yeah, there you are. Right. I think this will be the last little clip because basically it works now. Job done. Thank you for watching. I can't see you. Where's the camera? I can't. There it is. Okay then, 7-inch Android tablet virtual reality headset Mark II. We start off with the inner section of the headset, which I showed you the making of in yesterday's video, the previous video, making of the Mark I. So if you want to know what this is all about, well, you can see more about it in that. But you've basically got eyepieces made out of doubled up 3.5 strength reading glasses, doubled up in a cardboard frame and then put into another big chunk of cardboard, all wrapped up with gaffer tape, sponge, that's from like a car cleaning sponge, all held onto it with gaffer tape to make it a little bit comfortable when you stick your face in it. That is the starting point. Next section is much the same as the Mark I. We have a box with a slot in the top that we can fit our tablet into. Whoops. Not like that. So all of that, if you've seen the previous video of the Mark I, you'll be very familiar with. Tablet in there. What is different about this? These aluminium tubes, one on each side, and the purpose of those will become apparent very shortly. I've also cut out that shape there. The reason for that will become apparent as well. So all very similar so far. The this headset obviously goes in there like that, and I'm actually bracing it with pieces of sponge. Big, well, whole sponges in fact. These are like, I don't know what they called them, baby bar sponges, something or other. I got them from Wilko's. They cost 20 pence. They go in there like that. They hold the upper inner part in place nice and steadily. Leaves a big gap there, which, okay, it lets light in, which is a bit annoying, but it lets air in as well, so you don't suffocate because it's going to be, you know, there. It's all very stable, and because it's all held in place with sponge, you're able to move the whole thing about and adjust it for focus and having the right angle and stuff. Works very well. Where things get funky is with the next bit. This is what I was lacking. Because the problem I had originally was with this thing in front of my face like that and the bicycle helmet behind me and using the strap to pull this onto my face, this was pulling down leverage, and the weight of the tablet in there was pulling it down. The solution, yay, hard hat, £5 off of Amazon, rods, aluminium rods from Wicks, bought at the same time as the aluminium tubes, cut to length, and basically we will slot these into those. Oh dear. Let me point the camera down so I can do it on the... Yeah, that might just about work. Now, where this gets a little fiddly is with this sponge getting in the way somewhat. I'm actually going to push that. Will it go? No, it won't. It does work honest. There. So that all sits together in one unit. And I should now actually be able to put it on just like this. Yep, that works. And you're able to adjust the position of the headset backwards and forwards. I don't know if you can see now. No, you can't. Right, because of these here rods, I'm able to adjust the position of the headset back and forward like that, which makes life so much easier. There you are. I don't yet have the tablet inside it, and I do know that as soon as I put it in, the whole leverage aspect, the weight at the front thing, will become an issue. And so it does. That's pretty bloody heavy. However, you will notice we have these here, and I don't know if you could see while I had that. We've got the rods coming out of the back, and the plan is for a box of screws. And though it's going to add weight to the overall thing, it's going to balance that weight, hopefully. The box of screws are going to hang in between here somehow, with a load of gaffer tape or whatever, and counterbalance the weight of the hudl. At the front, you see, it'll go like that, somewhere, gaffer tape between there. Hold it all up. Gaffer tape will hold the screws between the rods, and that will counterbalance it, and the helmet will be like a pivot point on my head. So the weight of the hudl at the front and the screws at the back should be balanced more or less. I can add or remove screws from the box to get the balance right. And then, yes, the whole thing will be heavy, but it won't be ripping off of my face. So it should work. We shall see. Okay, that's sort of, yeah, that's counterbalancing the weight of the tablet at the front. I've just got to secure it a bit more solidly. Oh, okay then. After much messing around, because it's not nearly as simple as it sounds, we have this. That is the helmet you saw with the boxer screws at the back, all gaffer taped up. And it is very heavy, but watch this. Glass is off, so I can't watch this because I now can't see diddly. Right, no straps pulling it onto my face or anything, no crushing of noses, just slot it on and that's it. It works. I'm not having to adjust anything, I'm not having to put rubber bands around my head. It's sitting on my head, I can move around, it's not crushing my face. Yay! And I can see I am on that space station again, looking through the glass floor at the earth below. What I can't do is look down without holding my head. I suppose I could put a strap on, but bollocks, I don't want to, so I just won't look down too much without holding on to my head. But you know, they're looking up about that far, and then no, can probably go a bit further. Probably could do with this chin strap perhaps, just, you know, for a little bit of extra security, but it's pretty good. I am very pleased. Job done. So that is going to be called, courtesy of actually two people, because it's two people made suggestions, and they were Carl UK Midlands, who called it the Oculus Rift, a play on binoculars and Ben Way Rift, and Guru Larry called it the Oculus Thrift. So I'm going to call it the Oculus Thrift. Why not? Yes, it kind of looks a bit like an alien head in that whole long. Maybe it doesn't actually, but yeah, an alien with a square thing at the front. Whatever. I may stick some kind of decoration of some sort on it, or I may not. Who knows? But I'm very pleased with it. Because it works. Right. Thank you for watching.